Hi, it's Steve Jones from the Voice of the DBA, and I want to show you how I was upgrading my container. So I was testing something today, and I realized that I am on CU18 right here, which I know isn't correct because I recently was updating a build list on my system, and let's come over here, and if I say SQL Server build list 2022, I think I'll get to my build list. And I know there were some patches released, right? So when I look down here, what I find is that CU24 plus the April GDR were the last ones released as of the time I'm recording this video, right? And so I'm on 18, which was uh, last year, which shows you how undiligent I am in patching. So how do I upgrade a container? How do I actually do this? So what I've actually got here is I'm going to come over here to utilities and I'm going to stop my instance. So I'm running this instance here and it'll just stop this. You'll see it'll Docker compose down. Now, if I go back here, you'll see I've got this data folder and I know I've got 2022 here. I've got this Docker compose file. And while this may seem, kind of weird, it's actually pretty simple. Like once I set this up, and I've blogged about this in the past, you can see here that I've got 2022 CU18. So I explicitly set versions rather than just grabbing latest because I want to know when things change. So I want to explicitly make the decision to change things. Now, in my build list here, I also know that the Microsoft Container Registry, so mcr.microsoft.com, there's this page, and I just Google searched this really quickly. But if I come in here, then I see that for 2022, the CU24 is out there, right? And there's 2023 GDR and there's 2024 GDR1. So all I have to do is change this tag. So if I come in here and I were to come over to this image line, I go 24-GDR1. Hopefully there's only ever one. I save this. And then when I come back to where's my folder? I'm going to restart that instance. What you'll see now is this starts up, this Docker compose down. I got an error there, and of course, so my whole video is broken. No, here. There it is. When I Docker compose up, it's going to start pulling the layers it needs. So there's more layers in this in the container. But it's actually upgrading and pulling the differences for the 2022-04 Ubuntu version and CU24. It's pulling that GDR patch down. And once this starts, I will actually have an upgraded SQL Server. And that's really all I have to do to change my system. And so for me, if I go back to this data folder, I can just come in here and I would upgrade the 2025 one in the same way that I would just take this Docker compose file. I'll open it in code. And then this is RC1 because I have last tested this laptop quite a while ago. And so really all I need is this patch. And I will just set that tag in here. And now when I restart my 2025 instance, it will upgrade as well to the latest version. And I could also change that tag back to downgrade back to the previous version as long as the database hasn't changed. And for most of these SQL Server minor patches, the version doesn't change, so I can upgrade and downgrade at will, which when you think about it, it's way easier than installing a CU and uninstalling a CU. But in any case, that's how I upgrade SQL Server on my laptop, and hopefully you'll give it a try too. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed this.